Hey, how we doing? Nice to see you. Nice to see you. It's been a minute. It's been over like a month since I've been on live stream. Maybe 2 months, to be honest. I'm not even sure. It's been a minute. How we doing? How we feeling? Beautiful day here in Vancouver, BC, Canada. I see we got the UK. I see we got T. Collins here. We got Kamari here. We got the Chill Nerd. I like that name, the Chill Nerd. That's fire. I like that. We got Just Bree. Hey, nice to see Just Bree. How's the vibes been going for you? We got La Passion Williams. What a beautiful name, La Passion. I like that. Kane Ford. Jazz. Nice. How's it going, Jazz? How we feeling? We have Padimer in the building as well. Sending love to you. Good. I just wanted to check in with y'all, say what's up. You know, nothing serious. Nothing planned, nothing organized. Just say what up to the community. How the vibes are going, tune into the frequency, you know, the collective vibe. How we feeling? Scale of 1 to 10 these days. What you been up to? I'm definitely like a good 9. I've been having so much fun, y'all. I've been enjoying myself. I've been having so much fun. Since I moved, I've been loving life, like absolutely loving life more. And I'm like getting so much more creative behind the scenes, making a lot of music, getting like deep into the process again. And that's where like I feel like when I'm deep in the process, I feel like that's my form of prayer, you know. I'm not gonna lie, I don't really get on my knees too much and pray, but like when I'm deep in the process, like not thinking about no output or anything, no gimmicks, no games, it's just me and like whew, I feel God in those moments. And that's what we've been doing as of lately. But you know, we got to start coming back here and like reconnecting and just, you know, get that energy flowing again. It's a beautiful thing. We got Coffee, who is an 8. Just Bree, who is a 7.5. Deanna. Hey, are you going to be making more videos? Yeah. We coming back. You understand? We just had so much to do. You know, like, I moved. Moving was obviously a lot. Then after I moved, I went to Jamaica for a few weeks. Right, got my citizenship, did other things out there. We had a funeral, and then when I got back, you know, now we're getting back into like I'm just having fun, really creating. You understand? So I'm really excited because I think coming up soon, you know, there's going to be just like a new energy. You're going to start to feel a difference in things and start to see a difference, and it's going to be cool, right? But it takes time for like the newness to come into fruition and to merge. So no pressure, but yeah, we're going to be having more videos. I did upload a podcast today, Spotify, Apple, in hindsight. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, there will be uploads on there. So instead of like when I do my podcast like consistently, I'm normally Monday to Friday, but I realized right now we don't need to do that. So I'm gonna do Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and they'll be like a little bit longer episodes, like you know, probably on average 20 to 25 minutes, maybe sometimes hitting 30 minutes. And we'll do those 3 days a week for now. And then I'm not sure on the YouTube schedule, but man, I'm just having fun right now. Just behind the scenes, we're creating a lot of things. I'm actually really excited. I'll be honest. This is the first time in a while I've been excited about creating again. I feel like I've come back to myself in many ways. You know, sometimes all you have to do is get back to you. And that's what we've been doing. Someone says, do you like South African house? I've actually been making quite a bit of South African house with like my own blend of, you know, because I'm not actually in South Africa or South African, so I've been like giving it my own blend. But South African house is like one of my top 3 genres. Probably one of South African house actually may be like my top favorite genre. You understand right now? It's been like that since for like 10 years. We got After the Fall here. We have Bumblebee here. We have Tumo here. Love to see it. Love to see it. Beautiful. Let's see how else. We got some more 7.5s. A couple 7.5s. It seems like the vibes are alive and well. Lit says, I hope you've been well. Yeah, I've been good. I've been well. You know, we've been navigating. What you love, you will live for, like the reminder deck says. So I think we've been in this season, like redefining like what we love. And we've actually been discovering new interests and new loves. I love that. New interests and new loves, because like I have like a very obsessive mind that when I find something that I like, that I'm interested in, that I'm passionate about, I'm like all in. And like that's where I am right now behind the scenes. So like it's cool. What you love, you will live for. So we've been finding that out again. Let the love in your life live. Let it be felt. Let it be seen. Let it be open. Let it be free, because you hold the key. Might as well love the life that we are living and live it while we are loving. DJ Lack says, oh, on what are you producing? I use Ableton. I do have some hardware like the Ableton Push, some keyboards. But I'll be honest, a lot of times I just get right into Ableton and just like do everything in there. More like programming vibes. We got Germany in the building. We have Michigan, the US in the building. Hey, I like that. Beautiful. I am gonna relaunch the reminder deck soon here, because man, for the last 6 months, I get emails every single week saying, hey, I want to get a reminder deck. And I'm like, okay, we're gonna start shipping them again. So look out for that pretty soon here. I'm actually gonna ship them myself. So if you do buy one, just know it's coming from me personally to you, from my hands to your hands, right? It's beautiful. It's a vibe. You got France in the building as well. We got Trinidad in the building. We got Texas in the building. I like how we have the whole world in the building all the time, because when you go online, it just seems like the world is divided in so many ways, So I like that when I see the chat is like the opposite of that. It's like the whole world is there. It's beautiful. I appreciate it. We got Oso here. Ooh, I like that name, Oso. Where are you from, Oso? I like that name. We got Italy in the building, man. I gotta come to different cities and really do pop-ups, man. I know I've talked about that before, and then I'm not gonna lie, like I kind of shied away from it. I even hit points where I questioned like if I wanted to be on the internet. But now I'm like, nah, I'm gonna do what I do. Like, you can't, like, sometimes you just hardwired. Like you're just always gonna do what you do. I don't know how to not spread a vibe. Like I'm just hardwired like that. I don't know how to not spread a vibe. It's just who I am, you know what I'm saying? So we're gonna continue to spread a vibe. You understand? Allow the spirit to settle the mind. You understand? Being led by the spirit and not just our flesh. I have a podcast coming out about that soon. The relationship between our spirit and our flesh, and the debate that goes on within there sometimes, and how it's really beautiful how like our spirit can rewire actually our desires. So we desire more goodness for ourselves and things that are like constantly nourishing us. So we have a positive cycle instead of a negative cycle. Like the reminder deck says, our spirit is more powerful than the mind. Observe your thoughts. Some of them are just passing by. No need to react. I learned that as a child, because when I was young, I would get like intrusive thoughts. So like from like just like weird shit, And so from like a really early age, I learned that like we are not our thoughts, like that they are just passing by. And then when I grew up and I started sharing in content, like even just that idea, some people would hit me up just learning that for the first time. And I didn't even know that. And I felt like, I'm like, oh my God, please, no, do not identify with everything in the mind. Because some things are just passing by, you understand? We got to be observers, great observers, you understand? Grab the ideas you like, you understand? The ones that don't resonate, get rid of. Some of them be like, oh, I don't know where that came from. Just get rid of it. And just be a good observer, And then we lead with love, and then you leave with love. It's beautiful. We have Aaron here, a fellow Vancouverite. Hey. Yeah, so Aaron, I'm actually using Chit Chat because I actually live by that Chit Chat, right? So Yaletown is like my hood. So I'm going to be using Chit Chat. So I actually did use Chit Chat in the beginning, not Yaletown one, but a different one. I had a friend that was handling that for me, but then he moved, and then I shipped all my cards out to Vegas. So for like a year, all my cards were being shipped out of Vegas from a warehouse. That warehouse shut down. So since then, I just had everything shut down. But now I'm going to be using Chit Chat. So I actually just bought the printer. Is that what I call it? The order printer, the screen printer. Yeah, I think that's what I call it. Yeah. Senegal loves you. Hey, we love Senegal out there as well. We got a lot of love for West Africa. I have like an uncle from Senegal. Now, he's not my blood uncle, but I call him my uncle because he's just got that uncle energy. And actually, I say in my content quite a bit, we do the best we can while we can. And I got that from him. You know what I'm saying? He always says that. He's like, yeah, brother, we do the best we can while we can. Actually, what I love about him is like, I don't think this was like conscious, but like I would just go visit him, have talks at his shop. And he always speaks in like, I don't want to say the word slogan because slogan sounds cheesy, but he has these phrases, right? And I think that's where I learned a little bit, like how to like craft my own phrases and just like, be the living embodiment of them. Because he's always like, yeah, we do the best we can while we can. And I love that quote because it's just so much grace in that quote, It's like, I did the best I could today. We do the best we can while I can. While within my limitations and the capacity that I had, I did the best I can. Sometimes that's all you could do today. So tomorrow you may do more. Next month you may do even more. Then the next month you do a little bit less, but you're doing the best you can while you can. So shout out to Senegal. I gotta go check him out actually soon because I actually live by that shop now, so I gotta go check him out. You understand? It's like those are how you like, I have like mentors in spirit and then like mentors in random engagements, Oh, we got Mel in the building. Missed you. How's it going, Mel? How's JA doing? I got to come back to JA and like deal with my land. So right now I'm in the process of getting some land in Jamaica. It's kind of been like a loop of a situation because like everything moves slow in Jamaica and there's like some historical ties that we already had. It's a lot and everything's moving slow, but I'm probably going to have to dip out there again some point soon to like put the gas on people and be like, listen, we need to get this done because there's some things around it happening. And I'm like, we need to get this land because then me and my dad, we about to build some like homes and cottages and whatever on that land. So, we have a place to renew ourselves and maybe even I turn it into like a little thing people could visit. I don't know. We'll see. We got Rachel here. How's it going, Rachel? Day one. Been a minute, been a while. Yeah, I haven't been live streaming, but to be honest, I've been barely even in the studio. So I live about 40 minutes away from the studio now. Before I lived literally 5 minutes away, right? So I haven't been here as much, but I'm gonna start coming here. But I'm also trying to figure out how to build some other sets in my home. And my next one, I want to be standing when I'm live streaming and being able to like do different things, right? So I've been figuring that out. A lot of experimentation. That's what I realized I was missing from my process for a while. I didn't leave room for experimentation. I didn't leave room for blind experimentation with like no reason, like I made things knowing I was going to upload it. But right now I'm just making things for the sake of making things. And I'm like, oh man, that feels so good. I forgot. And we've been making a lot of music because y'all know I'm going to put out a vinyl record, right? I'm working on like a podcast album and I want it to be like, self-produced and all of that. So we working on that. It's going well. Bobby says, I love this studio. Yeah, this studio is a classic. We're not even done in the studio yet. I came here yesterday and then I realized I'm like, oh yeah, I love this studio because I haven't been here in a while. So sometimes I realize the distance from something is so important because it will bring you a lot closer and give you a fresh perspective, It's even like that with people, you can take people for granted, but then when you have distance from them, it can actually bring you closer because the distance reveals how much it means to you. And I think sometimes even with our creative crafts or whatever we do, that sometimes distance is good. Like we always hear about consistency, like never let your foot off the gas. But for me, letting my foot off the gas and creating distance and even exploring the idea of quitting brought me a lot closer and then reemerged new interests and passions that I can infuse into what I do. And I don't think without the distance that I created, I would have had this new perspective and energy that I'm feeling, you know? So sometimes distance can bring you a lot closer. And sometimes consistency is a lie. You just have to be consistent with life, your dedication to life. But sometimes you're going to let your foot off the gas on certain things, and that's fine. You know, like Sade, she didn't make an album for 10 years, came back with a hit. I think it was Lovers Rock or something like that. So I love that idea. Actually, one of my buddies, he sent me a song the other day. And back in the day, you know, he used to make music and I would shoot some videos for him, but they were like parody raps and they weren't really that good. Like I just shot them because he was my buddy and we had fun, but like it wasn't music I would ever listen to. And then he quit making music and he got into acting and, you know, just lived his life and did other stuff. Then 6 years later, he just decided to make a song and he sent it to me. I wasn't really expecting it to be all that great. It was like really good. And not even just good for him. It was just a good song. I was like, wait a minute. I was like, when's the last time you made a song again? He's like, 6 years. I'm like, so you haven't even recorded or touched a song or wrote a song in 6 years and somehow you just got magically better? You had all this distance from your craft and then you came back and you got better. And I was like, that's the power of living your life and having this experience and even exploring different mediums that you can come back and give it like a fresh new energy, you know? Yes, the fundamentals matter and like the 10,000 hours matter and like, you know, getting the skill sets down. But I truly think like with creativity and artistry and stuff like that, that sometimes a little bit of space, nothing wrong with that. Because he came back with like a banger. And I've even done that in my own life, like especially with music, like not make music for a very long time, come back and make something I absolutely love and like outdo myself. So it's beautiful, you know? We got Spider middle-aged man here who's drinking some coffee, by the way. Man, the last coffee I had me feeling wired. I find coffee to be such a trap. Such a trap because like if I start drinking coffee, then I naturally start noticing my body calls for coffee. And then I naturally start noticing that I get more tired. You know, like it's such a trap for me. So I like to go for decaf. But sometimes, you know, you still just want to have a real coffee. You know, decaf is real coffee, but sometimes you just want the coffee. But I find it's such a trap for me because it like reels me in. And next thing you know, I'm like in this loop with coffee. So y'all know me, I prefer my tea. The herbals, the greens, the blacks. Saffron tea is very fire. If you want to try tea and you haven't had saffron. Saffron is a natural, I just learned this actually, it's a natural antidepressant. And no lie, you can feel it. You drink saffron tea and like you feel your brain just start to stimulate and like feel happier. Like almost instantly, it's a really powerful tea. And you only need like a few needles, put it in the hot water, and it gets like potent yellow. Like so yellow you could stain your shirt if you're wearing something white. You have to be careful. But a really good tea. I got some new teapots as well. I actually, let me see if I can, I don't have that video on here though. No, I can't do that. I was going to be like, I should show you my new teapot. I just made this like video sequence of it. ASMR vibes. I've been diving heavy into ASMR as well. Like behind the scenes. Yeah. I've been doing a lot of ASMR behind the scenes. I love sound, I realize. I love like multi-sensory experiences. What other teas am I drinking? I have a jasmine right now. And what I did is, so when I moved into my place, I realized I'm like, every time I move, I feel like my bed is such a burden. It's like this big clunky thing. And in my new space, I want my space to be completely modular, meaning I can rearrange and change the space up in limitless ways. So like anything that I buy, I want it to be a piece of furniture that is more so modular. So my bed, I'm like, the bed's just not modular. It's just like this big thing that just takes up majority of a bedroom. So I'm like, I don't want a bed. So I didn't have a bed for like a month and I was really just sleeping on like a little futon thing like this. And then I was like, okay, let me figure a situation out. And then I bought tatami mats. So tatami mats are Japanese mats that they sleep on. Back in the day in Japan, a lot of people still do, but you're basically sleeping on the floor. It's like these like mats that are made out of, I forget the material, but it has like a very natural like smell. So I actually bought some like real ones from this like Japanese craftsman. Totally cool guy. Cool guy. What I loved about this guy is I went and bought it from him, and he only took e-transfer. In Canada, we can send money through email, and internet wasn't working. So I was like, oh, like I'll go to ATM. He's like, no, just pay me when you get home. I'm like, you just met me. You're telling me to take the mats, right, and to pay you when I get home. You understand? Each mat is like $400. And I'm like, man, you know what? I just love that level of trust. You understand? Like, I just love people like that. And then I also asked him, I'm like, hey, can you design me a tea table? He's like, yeah, for sure. He's like, send me your idea first, though, because he's like, if I can find you a cheap one, he's like, why would I make you one and you have to spend all this money? I'll just find you a cheap one. I was like, bro, this guy is not a scammer at all. You know, I love that type of energy. So I bought those mats, but the recommendation he gave me was, he's like, when you take those mats out, he's like, get a damp cloth, soak it in jasmine green tea, wring it out, and then just rub the mats down, and you get like an aroma in your sleep. The green tea will be in like the rice elements of the mat. And I did that. Oh my God, absolutely beautiful. And I've been loving sleeping on these tatami mats. So they're like this thick, very hard. And then I just put like a thin layer on top, like a thin futon. And I've been having the best sleeps. I'm done with beds. I'm not going back to a bed. I'm a floor sleeper now. I love it. It's my vibes. But I just love that energy, you know, like I hate the energy. Like it felt like real community, you know, like he's just like, yeah, when you go home, he even wouldn't let me buy 2 mats. He's like, you know what? He's like, buy one first, see if you like it. And if you do like it, come back and then double up. I was like, okay. A lot of people, you know, they're just trying to suck money out of you. But like that energy, I'm like, yo, I'm a customer for life. Anything I need, I'm coming back to you because I know you're actually looking out for me. You know, that's the energy I always want to have around me. No scamming, no like tight with money, no trying to get the most out of me, no extortion. You know, felt like a real community, real village vibes. We got Mexico in the building. Lena has been making ASMR shorts on my channel too. Yeah, I want to do ASMR-ish, like my own style of ASMR and just like completely like sound experiences. So I'm already doing it, but just behind the scenes, you know, we just creating. Someone said, I had a realization today at work. I realized every relationship we maintain has some degree of flaw to it. I realized even the relationship with my mother has flaws. It's something we all know. I don't think there's anything wrong with a flaw though, right? Like I was talking to somebody yesterday on a Zoom call and we were talking about different stages of life. And I shared like a more of a negative space or like a weird space that I was in. And I was like, man, but it was beautiful, right? I think human beings, we have flaws, we have imperfections. So of course a relationship is going to have imperfections. At the end of the day, if you notice a flaw, I mean, if you want, that is something you can give your attention and your energy to and like work on that flaw and then realize, man, you may find even more love within that flaw to expand on and build on. But yeah, I don't expect any relationship to be perfect. You know, you have to have quite a bit of grace in relationship if you want to have long relationships in your life. If one bad thing happens and you just cut them out, you're not going to have a lot of relationships because human beings are flawed. Now, some things are like a no, you know, some things are kind of like a deal breaker. Like it could be like really bad. But at the end of the day, I'm still the type of person who is like, I'll forgive you and move forward because I'm not really trying to hold on to like anger because I'm like, what's that going to do with me? I think you win. You know, I think when you have to hold on to the anger, you win. It doesn't mean I'm going to let you back into my life, but like I will remove you, place some boundaries and be like, I forgive you, move forward and just do my thing. You understand? That's how it is. Heinz tea sesh and sound bath experience. How it go? Actually, I just had a place hit me up offering me their facility to do some type of experience. So we're actually thinking of that now. So I probably will do something. And once I do a couple, I can figure it out. It's cool how like, I don't know, when you get back onto your path, the path you're supposed to be on, it's like all the little treasure clues start to appear again, and like the synchronicities and those random little connections are just being made, and life feels magical again. I feel like that's the space that we're in right now. Got Just Bree planning on trying puppy yoga. Whoa, hold up. What is puppy yoga? What is puppy yoga? You're gonna have to explain that one. You can't just drop that one on me and not give some context. What is puppy yoga? That's different. We have Indiana in the building. We have AHNCC currently burning frankincense. Oh, I love my frankincense. You know what I've been loving too is just, man, I'm fully in like a sensory life right now. Like I wake up just thinking, man, how can I soothe the senses? Like sight, sound, smell, touch, all of it. So like the aromatherapy at home. Right now I'm really loving peppermint. Peppermint has been my shit. Peppermint. I got the frankincense. I've always been on the frankincense. I'm gonna start really crafting the lighting in my home. So I gotta go install some drapes and start to play with the lighting. Multi-sensory experiences. That's like what I'm really interested in. Just be yoga sessions with puppies. Yes, but like, how does a puppy do yoga? Like, do you lift its arms with it? Like, is the yoga doing like things, or is like the puppies are just there? Like, how does this work? I feel like that is something that totally my city, Vancouver, downtown would do, because downtown Vancouver, I literally think 90% of people own a puppy. The amount of puppies I see downtown when I'm walking around now, I'm like, everybody just got a puppy? But I actually think a lot of people get puppies just to like meet people so they can date. Because I always see like these really big dudes, they got big dudes and they have like this tiniest puppy. And I'm like, bro, I feel like you have that puppy because you go to the dog park and then your puppy runs up to another puppy, and then it's like the perfect opportunity for you to like holler at a chick. I don't know. That's what I'm thinking. Because I'm like, you got this little puppy. And it's almost like an avatar. I see these guys. It's like a template. I'm like, I swear this is a dating mechanism. I swear this is a strategy. And I'm sure some of them love their puppy, and I'm sure they love their puppy. But I do feel like it is a segue. Because what a perfect segue. You understand? What a perfect segue. Right? But I definitely feel like they would do doggy puppy in my city. My city is the type of city that would get into that. You see people putting jackets on. I see people with their puppies in strollers. And the dogs can walk. I see them put them into strollers and push them like a baby. They are there and play while you do yoga. Oh, okay, that's cool. Okay, that makes sense. That is not good though for anybody who is allergic to dogs. Which is me. I'm not really as allergic to dogs. When I was a kid, it was pretty bad. Rachel says dog strollers are too much. Yeah, way too much. Like if the dog can't walk or has like an injury, I get it. But yeah. But when I was a kid, I had big allergic reactions to dogs. Like it was like unbearable for me. As I grew up, some of those allergies have like shifted away, but sometimes it still triggers me. Also, Heinz, your Speak Your Truth workbook was very knowledgeable. We need a 2025 one. Yeah, I'm working on some actually. So there's so much more I know now and have experienced that like I feel like you are right. We do need a 2025 one, and that is something I am working on. We have Faith here. Hey, from South Africa. First time. I'm literally about to study for my exams, and I was just looking for your 4-hour study with me video. I should really probably like set up a second channel or something and put all the study with me's, the pre-recorded ones up there. So it's all there and like curate it a little bit better. There's a lot of things I have to do. I'd be a little bit slow sometimes, but that's all right. When I speed up, when I lock in, I lock in. That's one thing about me. But I'm like, even when I slow down, I'm like, yeah, but I know when I lock in like obsessively, like a beast, and it's insane. So I know my modes. Just Bree says, oh, well, some dog breeds are hypoallergenic, but I'm not allergic to dogs. Plant debris is another story. Interesting. Yeah, even cats. Some cats bother me, some cats don't. Let me open my window because it's getting hot in here. Oh, open that up a little bit. Oh, it just closed. There we go. Get some fresh air in me. Get some fresh air in me. Perfect. Perfect. Okay, what time is it? I got a little bit more time to hang out today. You know, no structure, no strategy, no preparation, no reason, just all flow. You know, my favorite way to connect with the community is through live streams. You know, that's like how I measure just like the frequency we have. It's not really through anything else, you know. We got Sunbeam here from Indonesia, all the way from Indonesia. That's fire. We got AH here who says, I want to burn charcoal incense, but for some reason I'm afraid my smoke detector is going to go crazy. Yeah, you know what's crazy? I actually took out my smoke detectors in my last place just because they were so sensitive, which is obviously not the smartest thing to do, but like, man, I needed to burn my incense. But I don't know. I mean, I think you should be all right with that. Just open some windows or something, you know? We need to hear one of your favorite mantras you use daily to stay passionate about your burning desire. I don't really have a mantra that I use daily, but I feel like we could create one for sure. Like really that passion and those new interests have just emerged again. So I think I'm so immersed in it. I don't even need a mantra to remind me because I feel it. I embody it. I'm also just consuming a lot less. Like I'm barely even listening to podcasts. I'm just like listening to music and making music and stuff like that. But I always just remind myself that, man, everything is working out beautifully. You understand that like life is an art itself, and like everything I've experienced, like the highs and the lows, they were beautiful, and I'm applying them as I go forward. Like every thought, emotion, experience is like a texture. It's a different color, and I get to paint a beautiful new canvas. And, you know, we are not lost. We are exactly where we are supposed to be. And when we are struggling with life, looking for clarity because we're in so much uncertainty, I just remind myself a breakthrough is about to come. A couple of weeks ago, I was like, I was in uncertainty for like a little while, like a deep while. And I got to the end of it where I was like, I'm exhausted. Like, I can't really be in uncertainty anymore. And right in that moment, I knew a breakthrough was about to come because I'm like, I could feel I'm at the end of it. I'm so exhausted. You know, the beginning of uncertainty and even the middle, I like enjoy, but like once we were kind of there for a little bit too long, I'm like, okay, this needs to wrap itself up. And then boom, we had a breakthrough and it was beautiful. Right. But I always remind myself a breakthrough is about to come. You know, it's going to click. Things are going to click again. Sometimes all you got to do is get back to you, right? But identify what that even means for you. Sometimes you got to do is get back to you. You understand? I like that. The good thing too is like when you go through at least like, you know, a few big hurdles in life and you make it through, when you are met with another hurdle or another dip in life, you know, maybe a valley of despair, you can literally apply wisdom and look back and be like, remember that other time when I got stuck or I got lost and I didn't, and like everything worked out. So I always remind myself, that's why I always say, you don't know in hindsight, everything is going to be more than all right. It's going to be all right, right? There's something in this season to, tune into, to learn from. Sometimes I feel like we are pulled back or we are brought into isolation, or maybe you go through extreme rejection and you think something's wrong, but really it's just preparation for your next step. Sometimes you need to realize things before you move forward, right? Sometimes you're not standing on your value, right? You're not respecting yourself enough. You may have love for yourself, but you are not having value for yourself and for where you are about to go in life. You understand, the Most High needs to make sure you understand your value. So when you get into those new experiences, those new opportunities, you do not cut yourself short like you have been, right? So I am always kind of in the belief that there's a reason for everything, even if it makes no sense and it's awful. And regardless, I have the belief that no matter what life presents, that we will figure it out. If there is a problem, there is some type of solution and we can figure it out. And I just prefer to move through life like that. And of course, we're going to fail, right? But the attitude of failure that we're at is we know we should learn from it. But the attitude we should really have is like when you make a mistake, you just say, I understand now, right? Like, and then you just make another shot. You just make another shot. Maybe you make it. If you don't make it, you say, I understand now, right? Just receiving more information. And then you just have an attitude that everything's going to work out. Everything's going to work out regardless, because you're never going to give up on yourself, right? That's one thing I know about myself is that I don't know how to give up on myself, right? I may get into slumps or, you may hit periods. I may hit periods where I'm like, what do I want to do? Or less passionate or things like that. But at the end of the day, I know I'll never give up on myself. It's just something I will never do. I won't give up. I won't settle. I'll never call it quits on whatever, right? I may pivot. I may change. I will evolve. We will grow. But the commitment to ourselves and whatever we are doing, whatever our mission is, we're going to stay on board with that. You understand? And that's just the attitude that we are crafting. Sometimes it's not really about the information. Sometimes it's really just the attitude, right? Sometimes you don't need like a new answer or like some motivation. Sometimes it's really just crafting an attitude. What is your attitude with life, right? Are you pessimistic? Do you wake up and see the negative in everything, right? Do you wake up and see the worst in people? Do you see God in others? Do you see God in people? Man, I was, the other day I was riding my bike. So one of my new things right now is just riding the bike because I live right by the ocean and I love it. I love it. Riding my bike and I see this old guy in a wheelchair with one leg trying to get up the hill, and he's screaming, he's yelling, he's swearing, he's cussing because people are literally just walking by him, people driving by him, people strolling by on their cars. Like no one's paying him no mind, but this guy's like literally about to roll back down the hill. So I stop, I go over, I'm like, yo, do you need some help? He's like, yes, I do. He's like, people are so self-obsessed, I lock the bike up, start pushing him, and we just have like an amazing talk. We have an amazing talk. He tells me he used to play for Eric Clapton. Once he finally saw me, he like started singing Bob Marley, like Redemption song, and like we vibed. And like he was a little bit different, but he was like cool. He had energy, he's probably like 70 years old. One leg, that he said people call him the junkie priest or something like that. Cool guy, But it always reminded me, like one of my favorite teachings in like spiritual texts is that you'll find this in Christianity, you'll find this in Sufism, you can find these stories in even the Bhagavad Gita, and the stories always go, people call out to God and they're like, God, like, where were you? I was calling out to you when I was suffering. And God was like, I was there, but you ignored me. You ignored me when I asked you for $1. You ignored me when I asked you for some help or some food. And they're like, what are you talking about? You never asked me for nothing. And they're like, well, when you said no to the lowest of the low, or whatever, the least of these, those who were most in need, and you ignored them because you felt like they were beneath you, I was in them. You understand? And I always think about that. And when I like pushed that old man up the hill and then I brought him to his destination and we had such a beautiful connection, to me, I was just like, you really have to look at everybody like, listen, I'm a child of God and so are they. God is in them just like God is in me, you understand? And not just prioritize the people above you, but also think about everybody as an equal, even if we are in different statures of life. And I always find I receive so much value from those type of interactions, you know? And it also just like wires your attitude in a positive way where it's just like, I don't know, like life is a vibe, you understand? There's a lot of connection to be made, you know? And he was a vibe. He was cool. Legit played for Eric Clapton. You understand? Like, we just had a good time. So, we gotta love life, yo. We gotta live our life. Not stress it too much. We're gonna stress a little bit, but not too much. Just a little bit. Just a little bit to keep you on your toes when you need to be on your toes. But, like, let's not bury ourselves into the ground, right? You don't want too many premature grace from stress. Happened to me. I started getting grace because I started stressing out about life and stuff like that. Locked in my country in 2020, 2021. But God is in everybody, you know. It's something I always remind myself. It's like when you see somebody, just know like the same energy, the same creator that made you made that person as well, right? You didn't make yourselves. You know, so you are still equals regardless, you know, and lend a hand out when you can. It is actually crazy how, like an old man, like when he said, he's like, yo, people are so self-obsessed. And he was mad, he was swearing. And I imagine maybe people thought like maybe he was on drugs or something. I don't know, but it doesn't matter. Like the guy has one leg, he's in a wheelchair, and he's almost going to roll back down the hill. The fact that so many people would just pass him by, I'm like, that's unfortunate. That's like sitting on a train and you see a woman who's like 8 months pregnant and like you refuse to give your seat up. It's like, come on, you understand? Like, let's not be so self-obsessed that we forget that we are one. You understand? Truly connected, I and I, all of us. Self-love is service, right? We love ourselves and we also pour into others. Like we are mirrors of one another, reflections. There's a lot of value there, you know? I felt like that experience with that guy is like, that very much well could have been a better conversation and better interaction I had than if I like sat down with Jay-Z, you know? Like you just never know. Like we always kind of prioritize the people who are like more successful or whatever, but there's value everywhere. Chronix has a song called Legends. And is it Legend? Chronix. Yes, he has a song called Legends. And I love this song because it's all about how there are everyday legends within our day, like true heroes who we overlook. It's a beautiful song, you know, a beautiful song.
Some things are just never said, no. Story of my life, ordinary person just like you. If you take a look inside, see the great things that people do. Changing lives day and night, but nothing I do ever makes the news. Still I have to do what's right, to the King of all kings all praise is due. Yesterday I was on a train, a little boy asked me my name. He said, sir, I've seen you before, tell me who are you? Said I am a legend that you never heard of before. I said I am a lion, but he never heard me roar.
I mean, that's why I like reggae music, because reggae music always has a positive message, always has something to resonate with your soul. That's the intention for it, right? Transformation.
That means I made a change. I'm the man who cooks the food and feed the street people in the afternoon. I'm the lady with the broom, sweeping the halls of your son's preschool.
Beautiful song. Beautiful song. Beautiful song. Everyday legends. I love it. I love it. Hey, we got Lady Rose in the building as well. I'd love to see Lady Rose. We got M Smile in the building as well. Got Natasha, Soul Child. A lot of day ones here. We got Zay I Am.
I said I am a legend that you never heard of before. I said I am a lion, but you never heard me roar. I am a hero that nobody celebrates.
I am a hero that nobody celebrates. You know what I'm saying? It's because in this world we celebrate sometimes the wrong things. We only celebrate like, hey, this person has $1 million or this person got 1 million followers. But we forget about the everyday legends. Beautiful song. Beautiful song. Oh my God, my computer's about to die. We can't let that happen. I got about 10 more minutes and then I got to go eat, go back to my house. Or I might actually make some music after. I'm not sure. Today's a free flow day. We're seeing whatever happens. What's the tea? Y'all just had tangerine and hibiscus. I had some jasmine green tea this morning, but I don't have any tea on me right now. I've been drinking a lot of cold teas as well. Like hojicha cold tea, oolong cold teas with like some lychee jellies at the bottom. Got a nice little bubble tea spot behind my house. And I just go there, order it half ice, no sugar. And then they're always like, hey, you do know that like it's not going to taste like sweet or anything, right? I'm like, yeah, I know. I like the natural flavor of the tea leaves. The sugar is the icing. If I want the sugar, cool. That's like a bonus. That's like a dessert. But like, I like to actually taste the flavor of tea. I like to taste life. You understand? I always say you should try to embrace things in their rawest, most natural form. So like the sweetness is just the icing on the cake. You know what I'm saying? But if like every time you have a tea or coffee and you have to throw mad sugars and cream into it, you know what I'm saying? You're doing a little bit more damage to the body. You know what I'm saying? But once you just actually, because it's really just like a change of palate, and it's more of like a conditioning of the tongue. At first, something is bitter, but the more you do it, then you actually start to embrace the natural taste of it. And then you like it. And then when you have the sugar, again, it's like icing on top. But it's always funny to me how they give me a warning. They're like, hey, you know it's not going to be like, I'm like, yeah, I know. I don't want the milk. I don't want the 5 pumps of sugar. Just half ice, take away the sugar, and just put some lychee, some fruit at the bottom. You understand? Yes, so Marina here. Just Bree's got a 13-year-old son. Hey, we got Daryl 2 times. Shout out to Daryl 2 times. I seen you on YouTube now, my brother. I love that. I love that. You got a lot of value. And now to bring it to the long form, that trifecta, because you're already so good at like short form. You're already so good at just giving like ideas like to the short form. Now that you're on the long form, that's monstrous. That's gonna be big. I love that. Julie says, I love yerba mate. Yeah, yerba mate is a vibe as well. Problem with yerba mate for me is it gives me too much energy. I drink yerba mate and I'm like, yo, what's up? What are we doing today? What? Like I get like a little bit too spunky, you know? Like a little bit too much for my liking. But it does taste good. It is cool. Felix says, it sickens me when I see kids eating fruit with ice cream. Oh, yo, I don't like that shit either. I'm the type of person, I like my fruit to remain fruit. I don't like my fruit with other things, because fruit's already sweet. I don't want my fruit with other shit. Give me my mango just like my mango. Give me my lychee just like my lychee. I don't need sugar on top of it. I don't need ice cream on top of my fruit. If I want ice cream, I just have ice cream. But my fruit stays fruit. I'm very strict with that. I gotta do a stream where I share some sounds that I've been crafting, but I don't really have stuff organized right now to pull up, because I really just popped on here out of nowhere, just for the vibes for the day. Just for the vibes for the day. Anybody doing anything this summer? Like, are you traveling? I love my city so much in the summertime. I really don't think I'm gonna go anywhere, except maybe me and my daughter hit it like a little road trip down the West Coast. But still, you know, kind of staying in the Pacific Northwest. But I do miss Japan like a lot. Oh, I might go back to Jamaica quickly, but I don't really see that as like a vacation. But what's your vibe? What's your vibe this summer? What's going on? Anybody going anywhere? Like, what's the intention this summer? Are you kind of working through summer? Do you got goals? Trying to keep it chill? Trying to be outside more? I'm definitely going to be outside. I'll be outside. I just bought a paddleboard. I have a kayak, but the kayak is a little bit too much sometimes to pump up and do all that. So I bought a paddleboard because it's quicker, less resistance. That's what I realized. Sometimes you need to make less resistance between certain things if you're trying to do them. So the paddleboard is a lot easier to get out on the water. So I'm going to be out on the ocean a lot. But as soon as I went out on the ocean, I had people sending me DMs. They're like, yo, what are you doing? That's crazy. Like, you're wild. I'm like, what are you talking about? Look, I feel like so many people, I know a lot of people who don't swim. And like, if you don't swim, that's fine. But like, don't project your fears onto me. I have no fear of the ocean like that. Like I swim. I grew up on the ocean. We had a sailboat at one point. Like when my stepdad came into the picture, he had a sailboat. So then like when I was like about 12 years old, I started sailing and stuff like that. And then someone's like, aren't you scared of like E. coli? And then my homegirl said that. She's like, aren't you scared of E. coli from the ocean? I'm like, no, I'll jump in this ocean. I'm a swimmer. I'm a Pisces. You understand? But I was like amazed at how many people hit me up. Like I was wilding out because I was out on the ocean in a paddleboard. No life jacket. I'm like, I'm a swimmer, yo. I be out here. And my black people, I'm sorry. I don't like, a lot of times it'd be black people. My black people be like, yo, bro, I don't really do the water thing. I'm like, how do you not do the water thing? It's a whole element on the planet. How are you going to tell me you don't do water? It's a whole element. Get comfortable with it. It's got a lot to offer. I'd be swimming. When I was in Jamaica, every opportunity, every river, every time we stopped by the ocean, I jumped in. I was in there. I'd be in there for an hour. I love the water. Maybe because I'm a Pisces, you understand? But I love the water. I swim all day, every day. Liana says, I'd like to try Japanese food out there. No, I eat Japanese food like 2-3 times a week. I've been eating out so much. It's been, I was going to be like, it's a problem, but yeah, you know what? Whatever. I've been living. Just Bree says, I do all the water things. Thank you. I'm glad. Atomic, March or Feb Pisces. I'm a March Pisces. Big water sign, big water energy. And now that it's summer, I think tomorrow I'm gonna hit the lake. And tomorrow I'm gonna probably hit the lake. We got Angel who says, I headed up to Laguna Beach yesterday. Absolutely amazing. Still local. Yeah, that's amazing. Ron says, turning 34 this summer and really want to be outside. Got to take advantage of the sun here in the Pacific Northwest. Yeah. You know what's funny is anytime I see a video online and someone's in the Pacific Northwest, I can tell because like we get like a certain gray, like the sky and like the air just gets a certain color. So like anyone in the Pacific Northwest, like when that sun comes out, everybody's personality changes. Like everyone's just happier because like we go like 8 months a year, like grayness, you know? I said like 2024 is, 2025 is the last year I'm spending in winter in Vancouver. Like I don't want to spend winters in Vancouver no more. I'm not doing it. You understand? My daughter's going to be out of school. I'm like, listen, we out. I'm not spending winter here no more. We got Lady Rose, who is a February Pisces. Okay. I'm not really sure like the difference. Pretty sure we just all Pisces. Maybe some people say there's a difference. I know some people take that stuff like uber serious. Like you tell people like you're a Pisces, they'll be like, oh, you're a Pisces man. Oh. I was like, whoa, you don't even know me. You don't even know me. Why? Whoa, what's going on? Right? Or Scorpios always get like a bad rap. Someone say that someone's a Scorpio. Next thing you know, everyone's like, oh man, no, don't. I was like, damn, man. Pretty sure everybody is human. Felix is going to Mexico this summer. Gentle says it's very hot in my country now. Inspired to go cool off on a lake tomorrow. I like that energy. Angel's going to be getting back on some photo projects this summer, trying to stay creative, eventually start doing YouTube. Nice. It's definitely going to be a creative summer. I'm definitely constantly creating. I'm already doing it. I'm just not sharing anything yet. But like, it's fun like that sometimes. Sometimes it's fun just to create and you're not even posting. I'm going to end up posting stuff, but like, someone says, do you like dancing? Yeah. When I'm at home, I dance a lot. I'm like a closet dancer. You understand? Like I'm in my crib, like, especially on a piano, like I'm in my crib. You know what I'm saying? I also like, I went out. Well, I've been wanting to go to like a good South African house party, but there's none in my city right now. But I'll find one at some point. Number one chill spot on the internet. We'll definitely have some good sessions this summer though. We're gonna have some good vibes. I do have some good things, some cool things coming that I've been working on behind the scenes for quite some time. They're coming into fruition now. When the pieces are coming together, that's a beautiful thing. We got a lot of big dances in the chat. I feel like everybody likes to move the body a little bit to music. If not, then I'm like, you're a robot. The robots are coming though. Whoa. Hold up, Mel. You saying there's a house scene in Jamaica? See, I feel like there's so many pockets of Jamaica, like scene-wise with communities that I'm just not tapped into. Like, I feel like I always kind of experience, I just go straight to Kingston with my family and stuff like that. Like, I'd be going to Negril too, and I got friends out there, different vibes. But like, I wouldn't even have guessed that there's a house scene in Jamaica, but why not? Of course, Jamaica loves music. One thing about Jamaica love music and all kinds of music. So that makes sense. You hear like Celine Dion in the hood in Jamaica or like country, I would love to hit some dance stuff, some house stuff. That's a vibe. Thank you, Mel. We got New Zealand in the building, sipping some matcha. Yo, crazy how matcha, don't y'all feel like matcha has just got like some like extra like big energy right now? Like everybody's on matcha. Like I feel like every time I go on Instagram, it's like matcha. And I know matcha been popping for a minute, but I feel like matcha's like extra popping right now. And I love my matcha. But I feel like right now it's getting like a lot of highlight, Are you going to create content when you go back to Jamaica? I enjoyed your content when you were there. Yeah. But I wanted to make more content when I was there, but like I was so busy like doing family stuff and then also like all the stuff to get my citizenship. So I'm like in the passport office, I'm looking for a JP, and now I'm going to the bank, and now I'm going to get my, like I'm doing a lot of things that like I'm not going to film. And then also like, especially in Kingston, especially like Jamaica, like Jamaica don't like the cameras out, like Jamaica not the place where you go into the market and you just have your camera out, because somebody instantly is going to check and make sure you're not filming them. You understand? Like nobody will like to feel like they're being taken advantage of. So Jamaica, a place where like, I'm less prone to even take out the camera, because in Jamaica, nobody is afraid to cuss you out. Nobody is afraid to be like, yo, like, what are you doing? Are you filming? Like, you're not even filming nobody. You just have your camera out. But if they think you're filming them, best believe they're shouting at you. So I find it kind of hard. I kind of find it hard to film in Jamaica if I'm in the city. But if I'm like, on the outskirts, if I'm in country, then it's a lot easier and it's quieter and it's easier. So we'll see. When I go back, I'm going to be back there on like some administration type of stuff. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, I'm building a home there. So like, Jamaica gonna be somewhere I go every year, to just get like my good fruits in and my stillness in and all that stuff. So, I'll be in Jamaica most likely every year moving forward. You understand? Because they can't kick me out. If I want to stay, I can stay. Citizen, dual citizen now. Picture rockstar Jamaican. Heinz, who was that? Who is it that became a millionaire that was on your vid, Heinz? What are you talking about? Who became a millionaire? I need some context. I'm not sure what you're talking about. Who was it that became a millionaire that was on your video? Brian says, sounds like the Dominican Republic. I mean, it makes sense. The Dominican and Jamaica is so close. Dominican and Jamaica is so close. I'm sure there's like some similarities. The fruit you showed looks so delicious. Oh man, I was having some crazy. I was like, everything out there tasted so much better than out here. I mean, I had like the sweetest pineapple up in the mountains. I was like, oh my God, every pineapple I have back at home is not a real pineapple. You know what I'm saying? The breadfruit, oh my God, I love breadfruit so much. I love seeing breadfruit just grow all over the place, coming off the trees. Oh my God, so abundant, so beautiful. Heinz, what do you think about Americans like Diplo building a home in Jamaica? I don't care. Build a home. If somebody wants to purchase a land, like the thing is like Diplo has like I know Diplo like loves dancehall culture. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't think Diplo is somebody who's just like like Diplo has been around the scene for so long. Like I actually know a girl in Kingston who worked with Diplo long time ago. Diplo loves Jamaica. Diplo loves Jamaican culture. He loved dancehall. Like look at Major Lazer. Major Lazer is basically like a dancehall electronic band, right? So I don't care if Diplo's house was beautiful in Jamaica, right? Now, obviously he up in the mountains and all that stuff. Like he can do what he wants. Like I don't care. I don't care. Like I want to do the same thing. I want to buy houses. I want to buy some places and some other places. You know what I'm saying? Like it'd be very hypocritical for me to judge that, right? It's not like I was born in Jamaica either. I'm just able to get citizenship because of descent. So if Diplo buys a house in Jamaica or builds a house, that's fine. That's fine by me. I do not care. That's like me having a problem with like someone from India coming to Vancouver and building a house. It's like people immigrate, people go places, they buy houses, they build houses, And I don't like to make quick judgments on people because sometimes you don't even know how people, like, but from what all I know, who knows? Diplo could be doing some type of charity work in Jamaica that I have no idea about, right? He could be funding, a lot of the times, like when people are making real moves, they're not shouting it, right? They do things, right? So like, I don't like to make judgments on people if I don't even know much information about things. Like Diplo could be having like a whole organization out there where he's like helping people get into music and like kids have computers. Who knows? Maybe he doesn't, but he could also. I don't know these things, right? So like I don't make quick judgments on people. I don't like to be in parasocial relationships with people online either and like hate anybody I don't know. I won't do it. I don't do it. Someone says, don't you have a new place in the city? Yeah, I do. But this is not my home. This is my studio. This has always been my studio. So I have my studio and I have my home, I always, my whole life, I've always had like a studio and a home. It's just something that I do. I've always liked having a space outside of my home. I've been doing that since I was like since I was 21, always had some type of studio access, either joint studios or my own studio. But I've always had, I'm just realizing this now. I've always had a studio. I've had many different studios, but I've always had a studio and a home. Even when I went to Nairobi, this might sound crazy, but I got a good deal. In Nairobi, I had my hotel, and then I also found like a really beautiful but cheap, great deal, Airbnb. I rented both for a week so I could like film in the Airbnb, go there, like work, and then come back to the hotel. Because I'm just like hardwired to have a studio, to like go outside and like have something else to go to. So that's how I like to live. You know, when it comes into investing into my craft, investing into me, and into investing into experiences, I will go all out. When it comes to like things, I don't really care. You know, like most of my clothes I buy at thrift shops. I don't buy jewelry. I don't spend money on like drugs and stuff like that. You know, like my money goes into experiences and investments into me, really. So you got to be all in on yourself sometimes, right? Like your biggest investment in life is going to be yourself, right? Because even if you're a parent, you know, like the better you are, the more you invest in yourself, the more you're pouring into your children as well, right? The more present you are. You got to make those investments into yourself. What do you need? What do you need to succeed truly, right? Create your own standard, create your own blueprint. Figure that out for yourself. How do you like to live, right? Everybody can't fit into the same box, the same patterns, the same templates, you know? I was at my mom's house the other day and she said something and I was just like, yeah, because I'm just like, I can't live like that. I'm like, I'm just not that template. That's a pre-made template. I can't live like that. I need to live like this. I'm the type of person I'm always just going to live my life how I want to live my life. You know, even if it doesn't make sense to me, I'm like, I'm going to figure it out. Because it's more of a feeling, you know? Like, I'm very comfortable going down an unpaved path. Maybe I'm just hardwired like that. You know, let's go down an unpaved path because we want to design a life for ourselves and, you know, lead a way. You know? Kevin Momo, South Africa. I love this album. It was a good album. I feel bad for anybody that doesn't like South Africa stuff, who joins the live streams, because it's like pretty much the majority of what I always end up playing. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I've been making some amapiano as well. Just Bree lives 30 minutes from Canada. Yeah, I'm 30 minutes from America. American border is like 30 minutes away. It's right there. Right there. But I haven't really, nothing in America has been calling me as of lately. No real interest to go. When I think about going anywhere, my heart is more set on Africa and Asia. I really like don't even think about North America as much anymore. I'll be completely honest. I think about Africa quite a bit. Very, very bullish, very, very interested in Africa. Like I saw Khalees, the woman who sang, "My milkshake bring all the boys to the yard," about like 300 acres in Kenya, farming out there. You know, I see those type of movements as things I'll get into, different things. But Africa and Asia is where like my attention goes to when I'm drifting in places or where I want to go. Even I'll be honest, even Africa more than Jamaica. Jamaica is just, it's where, you know, it's part of my ancestry. It's where my family's from. I love Jamaica, but like, yeah, I don't really be thinking about many places in Canada or America anymore. Nothing really tickles my spirit. I'm here. I do love where I live sometimes, you know, in the summertime. But, you know, when you feel like, you know, your spirit calling you to some other places, for me, those places is normally some places in Africa and a couple places in Asia. Sleepy says, Heinz, America ghetto as hell. I saw someone tweet the other day. They're like, "Yo, when you go to Japan for the first time, you come back realizing America is ghetto." And Japan did have that effect on me too. I was like, I went to Japan. I was like, oh my god, there, there's like a better way to doing things, and they're doing it. You come back home, you're just like, damn, been sold a lie. Huh? You know what I'm saying? No, it's funny. I like those. I like those. I like those. You know what I don't like about North America is just it's too culturally and politically divided. And I find that I sometimes not even interested in some of the conversations that go on. Um, and sometimes I'm not really interested in first world problems, like the real first world problems, like the ones like the privileges that we complain about. Because I'll be like, yo, you know that there's like over like 1 billion people on the planet that are still like living in slums, like beneath poverty level. We're not even talking about poverty. We're talking about beneath poverty level, you know? So sometimes I'm just like, the super privileged, like first world problems. I'm like, I don't even want to listen to these right now. Like there's people right now just in other places, like they just wish they had a toilet to sit on. Like, geez, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I'm kind of disconnected right now from, or I'm not gonna say disconnected. I'll say my heart is in other places when I think about places I really want to spend some time in. Or maybe like, just, solve some problems and, we figure it out. Someone says, can't imagine Heinz going to Vegas to check out the giant sphere. No, that's actually wrong though, because I would actually love to watch a show in the sphere because I'm all about immersive experiences, right? So the sphere is actually quite cool to me. Like going in there, it's visual. I'm very curious what the audio is like. And then depending on what type of show is happening, man, that actually looks like an amazing experience. One of my friends actually had her designs, her animations on the sphere, the outside. But when I was in Sedona, I drove back to Canada and I actually drove through Vegas and I saw the sphere, but I didn't go inside. But I would actually love to watch a show inside the sphere in Vegas. Now the casinos and stuff like that, yeah, not my vibe. But no, I would actually love. I love a good experience. I will go anywhere for a good experience. Like I'll go to New York just because there's like an amazing restaurant that I want to go that I feel like is like an immersive experience. I'm a nerd for experiences, whatever type of experience it may be, especially ones with intention and that are like tickling multiple senses. So I'm not just like a nature guy or nothing like that. I'm actually very much a city guy as well. Tokyo is my favorite place in the world. Bear City, Bear City, tons of stimulation, but I love Tokyo. Love the energy. $2:10. I got a couple more minutes, y'all. Man, I just don't know how loud the sound is coming out. I gotta figure this out. I gotta figure some tech stuff out next time. Just Bree says, I don't engage in politics. I'm not Republican nor Democrat. I love God, my family, my community. Don't have a criminal record. Pay my taxes. Drink my water and mind my business. That's big attitude right there. I like that. I feel you. Suit Lady says, I'm born and raised in America and my heart is calling me elsewhere. Yeah, I've always felt like geographically misplaced. I've said that a lot. Like I live where I live, but I've always felt like geographically like misplaced. But that's all right. The world is there. We can travel, we can discover, but it is an interesting feeling. Julie says, we do a ton of 3D art installs nowadays at NYC. See, I would love to check out stuff like that. 3D art installations. That's right up my alley. Experiences. I definitely think in this like AI era too, like more things offline, more creative things offline are going to become more popular, right? If the internet just becomes like full of like so much stuff and it's just getting crazy, that the offline experiences are going to be People are gonna want them more. I know I'm gonna want them. Okay, y'all. Hey, that's good energy right there, Taneem. Taneem says, it's crazy how life can get better so quick. I remember doing your last study live. I was at my lowest point. This is why I always say, like the Tao says, when it's a good day, be happy. Because a bad day is going to come. When it's a bad day, have some gratitude. Because a good day is right around the corner. Really, like, you could be at a lowest point, and then like a month later, your whole life has just transformed. And then you're like, why was I tripping so much? Right? It's okay to feel, but you'd be like, damn, like everything. And I felt like that too. It's actually crazy how much my life feels different since moving. Like, my life feels like I am living a completely different life. And I am. I live a completely different life now. But like, since moving, way happier, y'all. Yeah, I love being able to like do some work and then walk outside and get into something. I go hop on the ocean, hop on a little bike ride. Oh, like go to the museum. Oh, Japanese market. Let me go hit the Japanese market. Oh, let me go grab some sushi. Oh, let me go here for this. I'll go hit this cafe now. Let me go catch the sunset. I'd be catching the sunset at the beach like every single day now. It's crazy how your life can change so fast. Since moving, my life feels completely different. And really in the first time in like 3-4 years, I feel like I'm like extra pouring into myself, like as we should be. As we should be. You know what I mean? Beautiful, y'all. I gotta go now. This is a completely pop-up stream. Just popped on to say what up, connect with y'all, see how everything's going. I'll be back though. We'll tap in again soon. Felt good to be here as well. Felt good to see some familiar names, some familiar faces. I'm really excited to share like different things I have coming up next. I've been having fun just creating behind the scenes, and I know everything's gonna like merge back into my work. I'm really actually excited like moving forward. That's a really good feeling. So I'm happy that y'all continue to support and tune in as well. And yeah, let's keep it going. Can't wait to start streaming more, because this is really like one of my favorite thing to do. This is like really like my favorite thing to do. You know what I'm saying? So much love. See y'all soon. And you don't know in hindsight. Everything's gonna be all right. Everything is always gonna be all right. We got this. Love. And thank you, Zay I am, for that super chat. I appreciate it. Much love.